Welcome back to another episode of The Natty Teacher. I'm your host, who else but the Natty Teacher. I apologize for not having an upload yesterday. I was having some technical issues with my phone. Moral of the story, ended up getting a new phone. I've had issues with my old phone for like literally 5-6 months, maybe a little more even. And now we have a new setup here. Got a newer-ish phone, a newer iPhone than one I had. So the camera quality, I notice, is a little crisper there. I can dig that. But today's a rest day, so I don't have any training footage for you. But I do still have a video, of course, content every day, minus yesterday. Again, my bad for that. Now, this video is brought to you directly by my homeboy, Blake. This was his idea. He was watching some content of mine from earlier in the week and had made a suggestion about breaking down the differences between essential amino acids and branch chain amino acids. And I'm like, dude, that's a great idea. I'll take it a step further. Buddy. Which, first of all, again, I appreciate your feedback, man. Love it. Please, any and all of y'all, feel free to leave feedback in the comments below. But I'm like, you know what? I talked about my supplementation earlier in the week and what I take. Why don't I just break down what I take and why I take it? Okay? So that's exactly what we're going to do. So on this side of the table, which you can't see, I got all my pill supplements, and on this side of the table, I got all my powder supplements. So we're going to start with all the daily pill supplements. So if you only are concerned about the powder, so the creatine, the protein powder, pre-workout, all that stuff, fast forward until you see me hold up, a canister. Then you know you found the beginning of the powder part. But for daily driver pills, I have a handful. I have 6 total pills, or pill supplements, in which I take 6 bottles. Which we're going to break down real quick. But we're going to kind of speed run it because I am a pontificator. I talk a lot. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep these very brief, summarize them, highlight them. This is not evidence-based stuff. This is not science-based, like, oh, well, let me cite this study from this year and it has this many participants and this is why I take it. That's all great. I appreciate the science-based community and the content. But for me, this is just, personal experience, and I have kind of finally sifted through the supplements in which I find necessary for me, or that I like to take, I should say. I've found benefit from them, and so I'll share that information with you, okay? So these are supplements that I could personally recommend to anybody, and I think you will, at least from my experience with them, have some sort of positive, response. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Okay, and again, please keep this in mind. Let me preface this video. You'll probably hear me say this at the end of the video as well to reaffirm it. None of the things I have on this table are necessary. And a lot of them, I actually used to take much more supplements than this. And I kind of just started to sift through them. I'm like, don't need this, can buy a cheaper version of this that'll work just the same. I can save money here, don't need this. Find what works for you, stick to it, and eliminate everything else. Save more money. Even if you have the money to buy a bunch of stuff, here's my opinion. The less you can spend on supplements and the more you can spend on real whole foods, the better. Food is the most important thing for you for building muscle and losing fat. You need the food. Okay, so anyways, here we go. Start with the basics. And we'll give shout outs to the brands as well. We got our Mutant multivitamin. This is my daily driver multivitamin. You take 2 of these a day as a full serving. I take them in the morning. Okay, so the first 4 supplements I have over here, these are ones I take in the morning, usually with some water right before I eat. So yes, logically they're on an empty stomach, but it's an empty stomach for all of about 5 seconds afterwards, and then I start eating. So you can take it after your meal, you can take it before your meal, whatever you need to do. I take it right before, fasted, works great. Mutant multivitamin is a multivitamin designed specifically for athletes, bodybuilders, what have you. Awesome formula for both men and women alike. Absolutely can take it. Again, a multivitamin is one of those where if you have a very micronutrient dense diet, even like myself, which I do, you don't have to take it. I just want that extra filler. Okay, just to make sure. I would rather have a surplus of individual vitamins rather than being deficient in any individual vitamin. Okay, so a good multivitamin, this thing right here on Amazon, I think $10-12, and on the Mutant website, I think it's about the same price as well, so just get it from there if you want. Support Mutant, dude. Mutant makes great products, and their multivitamin is solid. Here's the next one, and this one I would argue is one of, if not the most important ones I take, and I'll tell you why. A good old basic fish oil supplement, okay? Now, you can take one of these a day, which is a gram or 1,000 milligrams of fish oil. I take 2 in the morning, so I take 2 grams of fish oil. So make sure you account for that if you're tracking your calories, which I'm gonna make a whole different video about, which I think you absolutely should. Whether you are just starting or whether you are gonna be stepping on the Mr. Olympia stage, you need to be tracking your caloric intake, but a whole different video. So I take 2 grams of fish oil every day, but it does have calories and a little bit of fat, so track it. Dude, fish oil, I can't tell you enough about how great that is. If you are following a pescatarian diet, meaning that the majority of your diet or all of your protein essentially is coming from fish, you don't need fish oil. For me, I have 0 fish in my diet. Not even because I dislike fish. Like, fish is great. But I just, right now, it's very rich in, like, poultry. So, like, chicken, and also in, like, beef, and, things like that. Chicken, eggs, beef, I stick to the end of the basics, ground turkey. That's more of where my diet, tends to go towards. That's more of where my taste buds gravitate towards for the most part. Okay, so 2 grams of fish oil, great for your joints, great for your liver health, great for your even like things like your skin, great for energy. There's a plethora of things that fish oil can absolutely help with. I would say confidently, for me personally, one of the big things that I've noticed since consistently supplementing with, more than we'll call minimum dose, which would be about a gram, I would say, maybe slightly less, of fish oil a day. When I've jumped that up to that 2-3 grams, absolutely have noticed things, especially in my joints, getting better. Great for heart health as well. Like, I would argue that the fish oil is one of those things where that is one I think whether you work out or not, you should be consuming fish oil, especially if you don't have a, fish-rich diet, okay? Another one I think you should be consuming regardless of your diet. Vitamin D3, man. You'll notice, too, this is a brand called NutriCost. A handful of my supplements come from NutriCost. They're awesome. They're on Amazon. I don't know if they have their own website or not, so you can check both, but they're awesome. So each one of these is 5,000 IU. I take 2 of them a day. 10,000 IUs total of vitamin D3, okay? So I 100% would recommend taking a vitamin D3, especially if you live in a place where you're not getting a ridiculous amount of direct sunlight every single day. And you can tell by now that the tan's, worn off, how pale I am, and I'm out in the sun. But I'm not, super tan as of yet. But vitamin D3 is awesome. Same concepts for fish oil as well. There's actually, and again, not that I can cite this research because it's just stuff that I've seen in passing, but there has been some positive, research done in the sense of, or in the realm, of that vitamin D3 can potentially even boost natural testosterone levels. Again, I don't know how true that is or not. All I know is that for overall health and well-being, supplementing in somewhere between, I would say in the low end, 2,000 IUs, upwards of even 10,000 IUs of vitamin D3 is awesome. Whether you're bodybuilding or you're just you're into fitness or you're trying to lose weight or you don't work out at all and you've somehow come across my channel, I would highly recommend a good old vitamin D3 product. Now, one that has been shown to actually increase natural testosterone levels, and it is a great immune boosting supplement as well, keeping you a little bit healthier, keeping your immune system a little bit stronger, is some good old zinc. 30 to 50 milligrams. You don't need anything higher than that. You could even go 15 milligrams and still see some positive benefits from that. My main function for that one is the immune boosting, properties behind it. I'm a teacher, and so I'm around kids all day. And so, they're older. It's not elementary age, which would probably be even worse, but, middle school and high school students. And you got to keep your immune system strong. Obviously, your diet is going to be the main thing that keeps it strong, but having some additional supplementation on top of that ain't going to hurt you. Now, those are all my morning supplements. I take them in the morning, okay? These are my evening ones. Probiotic complex. My recommendation here would be no less than 20 billion CFUs, they're called, upwards of even 50 billion, okay? 100 billion, when you start to get into that triple-digit billion CFU range, we are talking some serious digestive issues. For me, I take a probiotic purely to keep it's called a gut microbiome, so essentially just to, your gut and the internals, the innards of your gut. I take a probiotic to keep those innards nice and healthy. It helps ease digestion. If you're looking for help, having a bowel movement or something, I don't know if necessarily a probiotic is going to be the key thing for that. I don't know if I would say it like keeps me regular. I would say I like to think of that as an immune system booster for your gut. It keeps your gut health healthier. There you go. Keeps your gut health on the up and up. So keeping a probiotic in to aid in digestion and to actually boost the health of your gut microbiome, win-win across the board. Okay, so that's one I take in the evening. I used to take it in the morning, but I actually moved it to the evening after all my meals are done. And along with that, magnesium glycinate. You can see here, 400 milligrams per capsule. I take that one capsule, 400 milligrams every night. Magnesium glycinate is specifically designed to help you sleep. That is kind of the main function of that particular type of magnesium. I would recommend glycinate purely because I have noticed additional benefits with regards to sleep and taking it, before bed, at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Not that it makes you feel tired or drowsy, but I have noticed that has absolutely helped me have deeper sleep. Okay, so not even like falling asleep. I've never really had issues falling asleep, but sometimes staying asleep, I would have issues with that. And I've noticed that, since I've been consistent with supplementing magnesium glycinate specifically at that 400 milligrams per day, I have noticed that it's helped me stay asleep. So now we're 11 minutes in. Let's get into the actual powders, the stuff that you guys are probably more keen on. Okay, let's break it down a little bit. Let's start with the simple one, your pre-workout. Okay, I have had, between working at GNC and Vitamin Shop for about 5 years, between those two types of stores and those two, companies, I should say, I have tried, a lot of pre-workouts, okay? High stim, low stim, non-stim. I've had a variety of different pre-workouts. And what I've come to realize is if you have a pre-workout that is a solid base formula, has a couple basic ingredients in it, you're going to be good to go, okay? Here's one that I found that is very inexpensive and that you get a lot of bang for your buck. It tastes pretty good, doesn't have any dyes or anything like that in it, which is nice. Right here, pre-workout complex from NutriCost, okay? Now, you get 30 servings of this bad boy for just over 20 bucks. One scoop of that has 4 grams of citrulline, 2 grams of beta-alanine, 200 milligrams of caffeine, and a variety of different other smaller ingredients for focus, mental clarity, all that kind of fun stuff, pump ingredients, what have you. Usually I look for those two things to start with, those citrulline and beta-alanine, and then also what the caffeine intake is. Does it have creatine in it? Is it something I'd have to have separate? What have you. Okay, I love it. Honestly, I've been taking this one now for just a couple weeks, and just to have like something that is just a little boost for my morning workouts, for later on in the day. Like in the morning, sometimes I'll use a scoop and a half, so I get like 300 milligrams of caffeine, a little extra citrulline, a little extra beta-alanine, and I've also have plenty of days where I'll just take a single scoop of that. And I still find a lot of benefit from it. I really do, even just from a single scoop. And my caffeine tolerance is pretty high. That's only 200 milligrams, but I've absolutely noticed that, for mental clarity and for pumps and for just general levels of strength and endurance, it's solid. But one of the things I add to that, because it does not have it in it, and this is something I would recommend, again, especially for those of you who are bodybuilding, if you're an athlete, whatever, you're into fitness to some extent, creatine monohydrate. The amount of meat that you would have to eat to get a full serving of creatine monohydrate, I think it's somewhere around that 2 to 3 pound range of like actual beef itself that you would have to have in your diet to get roughly that like 4 to 6 grams of creatine. So having something like this that you can supplement in, very inexpensive to buy. I think I just got like a 45 serving thing of it, something small off Amazon. It's a different brand than this one, but I just wanted to try it for like $8. It's like 45 servings, 45 full servings for like $8. You can't beat that, man. You really can't. So this is another thing with creatine. Okay, please, the Natty Teacher's only looking out for your health and for your wallet here. When you go to GNC, especially if you're a younger gentleman, we'll say, and you go to GNC and you're like, hey, I want to get some creatine. Here's what the guy behind the counter is probably going to tell you. Sure, I got this 72 serving creatine for 20 bucks, dude. I got you. What a deal. 72 servings. Here's what you're going to do. The first 10 days, you're going to take 4 scoops a day. You're going to go through 40 servings. You're going to have 20 grams a day. It's called creatine loading. Okay? And then you're going to slowly taper that back down to where you're taking between 5 and 10 grams. So you're going to come back to me in a couple weeks and have to buy another one of these bad boys. Okay? BS. B freaking S. You absolutely do not need more than 5 to 10 grams of creatine at any time. I would actually recommend 5 grams. Take a pre-workout, let it sit, let it digest. More than enough. More than enough. I promise you I wouldn't steer you wrong. I have no gain in sharing this information with you. I'm not trying to do anything but look out for, again, your overall health and well-being and your wallet at the same time. It's a win-win. Okay, so that's pre-workout supplementation. That's it. I got a basic pre-workout and 1 serving of creatine. That's all you need, man. Again, the majority of your energy should already be coming from, your glycogen stores and the amount of good, healthy whole foods that you're eating. You do not need a pre-workout. You don't need creatine either, okay? They are just performance enhancers, performance boosters, okay? And they are natural performance boosters rather than the, other stuff, okay? Great stuff. Now, intra-workout. So this is what I'll sip on and drink during my actual workouts themselves and also during my cardio sessions, a few of these at least. Basic building block, essential amino acids. I used to be a big BCAA guy, BCAAs. Huge branched chain amino acid guy, and then I started to hear about essential amino acids. I'm like, what's the difference here? Let's keep it very simple and very straightforward. The difference between an essential amino acid supplement and a branched chain amino acid supplement is I like to see a branched chain, or like to think of a branched chain amino acid supplement as an incomplete chain. This is a complete chain. Essential amino acids contain the big 3 of your main actual branched chain amino acids, which are on the back here, which is, I don't know if you can really see it. See, L-leucine, L-isoleucine, and L-valine or valine, okay? That is your big 3 as far as your main branched chain amino acids, okay? And this includes that, so it obviously has a pretty hefty dose of those branched chain amino acids, but also an additional 6 essential amino acids in which your body does not produce. So your body does not produce, I believe, any of these essential amino acids. And again, I could be misspoken there, but I believe that there are 9 total. I know that. And I believe that your body does not naturally produce any of them. Okay. Now, essential amino acids, here's what I've noticed. Keeps the body a little bit fuller. Keeps the body and the muscles a little bit more hydrated, okay? Helps with muscle protein synthesis, which essentially is just helping to break down and absorb the protein in which you consume through food, okay, and supplementation. It is awesome. It is awesome stuff. I will always consume essential amino acids intra-workout. Again, you can see NutriCost, dude. This thing, I think this specific flavor, peach mango, it's like $17 for 30 servings, okay? And I take 2 servings a day. So that is actually one that I buy and spend a little bit more money on because it is absolutely worth it. Get your EAAs. They are starting to all take over in Vitamin Shop, I've noticed, and in GNC and online. A lot of companies now are straying more towards EAAs rather than BCAAs, purely because they have been shown to be more effective, in overall recovery, muscle protein synthesis, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so again, look up the research if you want, if you don't believe me, but I absolutely will always take EAAs. Here's another one I really like, and this is something I actually added in during my last contest prep, and I'm glad I did. It is an old school supplement, and again, this is one that is only going to help you recover a little bit more, okay? And it is an amino acid, coincidentally, but not an essential amino acid. It is L-glutamine, okay? L-glutamine powder. This brand's awesome, by the way. It's called It's Just. And they have creatine, so it's just creatine, it's just L-glutamine, it's just psyllium husk. They have a variety of different, literally 1 ingredient supplements. So if you look at the back here, for example, ingredients, other ingredients, none, 1 serving, L-glutamine, 5 grams, that's it. Okay, no sweeteners, no dyes, no artificial flavors, nothing. It is literally just that particular supplement. Okay, again, L-glutamine, great for keeping the body and the muscles hydrated, great for recovery. I usually do a scoop, so I'll do 5 grams intra-workout with a serving of essential amino acids and also this other supplement we're going to talk about in a second. I'll also do 5 grams of L-glutamine every day with essential amino acids when I do my cardio, whether that be fasted or post-workout cardio later on in the day, after a couple more meals after going to the gym. I include it there as well. Here is something that is simple, effective. I would highly recommend. You don't have to get this particular one. I actually found one that is cheaper, so you can buy it even cheaper than what I got this for, even though it wasn't that expensive. An intra-workout carb, okay? Fast digesting carbs, dextrose. Okay, there's a variety of intra-workout carbs. There's dextrose, there's maltodextrin, highly cyclic, cluster dextrin, a variety of different, essentially, sugar carbs, okay? I found that dextrose, as far as bang for your buck, especially if you're not consuming 50 grams of it intra-workout, it is solid, dude. I'll usually do about half a scoop of this bad boy. So this 30 serving thing off Amazon was roughly about, again, $15 to $17, maybe $20, and this will last me, essentially, it's like this 30 servings turns into roughly close to 60 servings. Okay, on leg day, I usually do add another roughly 5, maybe sometimes 10 grams, just to have a little bit more carbs on my leg days. But yeah, so intra-workout carbohydrates, I think they're great. They're great on a cut. They're great on a prep. Again, they are just essentially, you can find something that is a sugary carb that sits well with your body. So it doesn't give you the runs, doesn't give you gas, doesn't give you bloating. So you might have to play around a little bit if you find one that does, then the cut, then axe that and try something else. Okay, but find one. I found that just plain old dextrose works really, really well for me, and I would highly recommend it. It's just going to keep your body and your muscles a little bit, fuller and more energized, because you're just burning through those, those carbs as you're training. So it just kind of keeps your body spiked up a little bit. It feels great. Okay, so yeah, last one, and this is the one that I would say is actually the most unrequired one of any of these. It really is, but it's still real food. Whey protein isolate. Whey protein isolate, man. If you are dairy intolerant to the point of where it literally makes you violently go to the bathroom or get ill, obviously you're going to have to stray away from whey protein. You can find a vegan or plant-based protein. There are a few out there I actually really do like. Most of them I'm a little leery of, to be honest. But if you do not have a whey intolerance or whey allergy, get whey protein specifically. Spend a few extra dollars if you're going to do this and get whey protein isolate. Whey protein isolate is the most well-refined version of it. Whey protein concentrate is still good, and for most people will digest probably exactly the same as a whey protein isolate. But for me, just for me, I have found that whey protein isolate digests the best. It is the most well-refined, most broken down version of whey protein that you can buy. I think there is like I think it's called hydrolyzed whey isolate, which is even more, just like slightly more refined than this whey protein isolate would be, but it's even more expensive. So for me, again, I got literally Body Tech, which is a Vitamin Shop brand. You can get any, please don't let anybody fool you. Please don't let anybody fool you. So many of these companies are manufactured, their products are literally manufactured in the same exact plant in the same exact spot, but one company will sell 30 servings for $75, one company will sell 30 servings for $30, even though they are made in the exact same facility, most likely with the exact same ingredients, but it's just a brand. Okay, so that's where they're trying to get you. So I'm a huge fan of this. Here's my only recommendation with whey protein isolate, or any powder for that matter: don't overdo it. For me, I have in a day, even in a bulk right now, so even in a massing phase for me, I have a scoop and a half of whey protein. That's it, a scoop and a half. Please spend the majority of your calories every day, whether it be in a prep or whether it be in an off-season setting. Use the majority of your calories in real, satiating whole foods, okay? That's where you want to put your time and attention. And again, just like I told you I would say at the beginning of this video, I told you I'd say it at the end as well, none of the supplements I listed out today are necessary. You just don't need them. I've found that these ones work well for me and have only made my natural bodybuilding experience better. Okay, and they have aided, because as a natural athlete, you want to try to find, without spending $1 million a month, you want to try to find the things that actually can help you perform better and recover better and feel better, okay? We want all the help we can get, but we want to do it in a natural way. We don't want to do it through any sort of exterior enhancements, if you catch my drift, okay? Anyways, that's what I got. That's it. I don't know if that's a lot. I don't know if that's a little. For me, it's a little compared to what I used to consume, thinking it made a big difference. But I have found that for me, if anything, cutting out, and trimming the fat on a lot of extra BS supplements has really only made my experience in natural bodybuilding and just how my body feels better. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful for you. Tomorrow we'll be back with a normal training day. We have our push A session tomorrow. Will be a pretty late morning workout. So expect an upload probably late afternoon, early evening, maybe early afternoon. We'll see how the schedule goes. But tomorrow in the afternoon-ish time. And make sure you follow along on my TikTok as well. I'm going to be posting a little series where I'm going to do roughly 3 videos a week. I'm going to post my training videos still pretty much every day, or probably highlights every day on my TikTok if you search up @TheNattyTeacher. It's the same logo as I have for my YouTube. But make sure you check that out, because I'm going to be doing little 60-second clips every week, called a little series called The Natty Teachings, where I already have close to 50 topics selected that I already wrote down. And so I'm going to do, like I said, probably about 2 to 3 of those little 60-second videos a week. and they're going to be just random. Some of them will like be a series that we'll build off of, but a lot of them will be just random topics, in the bodybuilding and fitness space, whether it be like personal topics or whether it be, very popular, hotly debated topics. I'm just going to be doing that series, like I said, called the Natty Teachings every single week. So make sure you follow along with that, and follow on the TikTok and Instagram at the Natty Teacher, all that kind of fun stuff. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Keep on doing all the comment and all that. Keep on doing all the things that are only going to boost the algorithm. I don't know. But again, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Join me tomorrow for that Push A session. But for today, I am the Natty Teacher, and school is out. I'll see you tomorrow. So.